Shalom, shalom, Israel. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Yahweh is the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world innately calls Jesus the Christ. I want to give double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who can rule the world through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing His word to the best of their ability. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in a spirit to endure, and a mighty shalom to the hopeful elect, scattered four corners of the earth, in and out of congregations. Lord willing, the Most High continue to put in a spirit to endure. Shalom to the wives and the single sisters. Lord willing, you can continue to be believers in His word, and continue to pursue to be a loving and silent, virtuous wife. And Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on other brothers and sisters that's not in faith. The title of this lesson, Lord willing, through the Spirit, is called Confusion the Great. Really Babylon the Great, but this place is full of confusion, right? And 2024, Lord willing, day after day, from what the men of the Lord, from the apostles and the elders on down, the captain and soldiers and the hopeful elect scattered four corners of the earth, teaching against the wickedness um of this place, but the wickedness that Esau put four corners of the earth. Before I even, we get started, I want to just bring this preset. I'm gonna show some scriptures on the screen, and then probably some I'm gonna just, for time's sake, and to make it quick, I'm gonna go in my physical. This is Amos chapter 9, verse 8. It says, "Behold, the eyes of Yahweh power are upon the sinful kingdom, and I will destroy it from off the face of the earth, saving that I will not utterly destroy the house of Jacob, saith Yahweh Bashim Shai." Every sinful kingdom need to be destroyed, right? Because the Lord created this world for the elect to rule it. Right? Second Ezra, the sixth chapter, we can understand that what he told Ezra, that he made the world for our sakes, you know, um, and we were supposed to rule it. And the way that Adam had it is the example, naming the animals, everything was under the man, right? Everything was in order, right? I'm gonna go to another precept because it's the same as what happened in the time after Adam, man. Wickedness has grew, right? This is Genesis the sixth chapter, and I'm just gonna go to the point. Verse 5, it says, "And the Most High saw that wickedness of man was great in the earth, and that every imagination of the thoughts of his heart was only evil continually." And we'll understand that the Lord flood the earth. He telling Noah that, wickedness has reached unto heaven. So he was gonna flood the earth and it never rained. And you gotta think the same thing is happening in this time. Wickedness, wickedness has even been worse than the time of Noah. Man been living on this earth for thousands and thousands of years. So you got to know the events of wickedness grew, even though it's the same of old. It just upgraded, but it's the same thing, right? And the men of the Lord is out here to speak the truth, right? We can't really hold the Bible and speak lies. And if a man is, Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on you, and you get to upgrade, correct it. Just like what I'm watching Elder Tahar, Apostle Gabar, saying, sometimes even in your own congregation, brothers might mess up, and brothers might need to get, correct it. We all go through it. You might say the wrong word, you might say the wrong name, you might say the wrong sentence or the wrong precept, right? And let alone a real brother is somebody that's going to be there when you make a mistake or you don't have an answer, right? This is why the brotherhood is very important, right? And this is even more why the elders is very important. Um, I said we was gonna get right into it, but I gotta go to these verses right here. I ain't gonna lie to you. These two little verses I need on the side. This is Sirach the sixth chapter, verse 32 to 35. It say, "My son, if thou wilt, thou shalt be taught, and if thou wilt apply thy mind, thou shalt be prudent," basically wise. You can go to James 1 and 19. It says, "If thou love to hear, thou shalt receive understanding. And if thou bow thy ear, thou shalt be wise. Right? In order to learn the scriptures, it's not like a one, two, three, right? You got to be willing to yield your ear, right? Be slow to speak every day, right? Especially a woman, especially if a woman was attracted to a man and you want to be a part of his life, right? If a man tell you that a woman's supposed to move off of his desire, you should be looking at this man different, right? Because men don't speak with that type of authority, right? Especially when a prophet is speaking, everybody should want to yield to listen because in order to understand, you have to listen, right? Because this is a puzzle. Verse 34, it says, "Stand in the multitude of elders and cleave unto him that is wise." Right? So the brothers I labor with, regardless whatever you got going on, we're standing in the multitude of elders, right? Every day. My favorite, besides, the other ones, but who I watch because I know my mind is there, here, and here. I like Apostle Arumelot, right? Probably saying his name wrong, and the elder in South Carolina, and I like Apostle Gabar. I love Apostle Elder. They're all different, right? And they constantly keeping us fed, right, with information. It says, "Be willing to hear every godly discourse, and let not the parables, right, the earthly stories, but the heavenly matter of understanding escape thee." Right? That's why men of the Lord, or if you're trying to be, you're going to ponder the words of the Lord, right? Yes, it is. Sometimes you might not. Sometimes you might feel like you're not on fire, you're not in the spirit, But the men of the Lord is going to try to be on fire because the your spirit is a fire, right? Now, just to get the other precept, this is Sirach, the 8th chapter, verse 8 and 9. It says, "Despise not the discourse," basically discussion, the conversation, the debate of the wise, "but acquaint thyself with their proverbs, for of them thou shalt learn instruction and how to serve great men with ease." Right? Sayings. "Miss not the discourse, the discussions, the debates, the conversation of the elders, for they also learned of their fathers, and of them thou shalt learn understanding, and give answer as need requireth." Right? But you still want to approve a friend before you credit him. So any elder apostle, anybody that's above your spiritual pay rate when it comes to these scriptures, right? And it's not to say that they better, it's just the most high used them, right? Some brothers been in this thing way before you, and we gotta, you gotta call a spade a spade. And our forefathers like Paul, um, Isaiah, Zechariah, I gotta go into their old manuscripts. I gotta go into their old scriptures, and even if I'm going into them, I'm still learning from our forefathers. But if I'm not quite getting it, the Lord put those teachers, them scholars here now, right? Those Israelite, high elite teachers, right? That really get into this word, right? And the Lord put them in front of us, and if the Spirit bear witness, you probably watching one of them, right? But you want to pay close attention. Now we're just gonna hop right into the video. Um, Confusion of the Great, right? Babylon the Great, and let's just look at this word,
Strong's H894. Bavel. Bavel.
Babel, right? Babel. I'm really just staying to the first point. Babel or Babylon is confusion by mixing confusion, right? When you go in a strong definition, what does it say? Confusion, right? This is a place of confusion. Now, I got a video. There's other points I want to make, but this video is all I got for right now. So please bear with me. It says America is the land of confusion. They're about to just go straight raw to their direction. But I wanted to deal with many points of the confusion of this place. but let's just bear with
Hi,
me.
hi. You're neither male nor female, right?
That's true. I identify as non-binary, which
Right.
means that I'm neither male nor female, and
But
correspondent to that, I use the they, them
and
pronoun.
you say gender roles are damaging our society, so we need to think very carefully about language, yeah?
Yes, so a lot of our social selves are codified and encultured in the language that we use. We really use it to construct our entire society. And what's certainly true is that there is a huge variance of gender presentation and gender identity within humankind. There isn't simply
Humankind,
men
you say,
and
yeah.
women. Exactly, humankind
You
in
see,
place of
you
mankind.
wouldn't say mankind. That should be,
I wouldn't, just because humankind.
I don't know why that button didn't work, but just wanted to say, I really don't want to further along the beginning of this. That's a straight woman, clearly, and this is what I'm talking about. This is the place of confusion. Everything that the Lord, you know, orchestrated. They're trying to redo it, or rechange it, right? But the Most High already he knew that this would happen. That's why this place is called Babylon the Great, right? This is the great confusion. This place is the great confusion. If we wanted to go deeper, this is the greatest confusion, right? Because men can use certain technology to make themselves look fully like a woman, you know, using technology and uh, uh, to make themselves chest or a butt or a women. Damn near women can make themselves look manly. They can cut off their titties, right? This place is more advanced, right, than all our captivities, right? But this is Isaiah chapter 5 verse 20. It says, "Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter." Right? Woe unto them that are wise in their own eyes and prudent in their own sight. Right? And this is what the nations has done. Right? And they got a lot of our people drunk. Right? And they're spoiled with this world, with society. On it's okay to be this and it's okay to be that. Right? And we're in the winter now, and from what I would call it a dark winter. Right after people exposing certain things in this world at the end of 2023 and in the start 2024, and now we having these storms. They just uplifted a, a bill that they just passed, the NY 213. Basically, they can come into your house and take your kids if they want to right now. If the government wants to, they could take anybody in the house and take them to a camp and do tests without the parent consent. And they could take your kid without you going with them. They could take your wife or they'll take you. And this is a fact, right? So, just like what I try to tell my family and other people, gird yourself spiritually because this is not a time to play. They'll take your kid from you, and you be like, no, no. They'll smack you whatever they got in their hand because me and you can't go against them because that law was passed. So it don't matter if it's your 2 year old, your 9 year old, your 10, your 12. They can snatch or your wife right from your hands and you won't be able to do shit. And guess what? I hope that do happen because all them people that thought that this was a joke, right there in that moment, they gonna notice. Even if one of the men of the Lord get taken that been teaching, this is gonna let you know that these scriptures is real, you know. And Lord willing, His will be done and not ours, which is it is scriptures that the true hope for elect, the Most High will provide. One of my favorites is Isaiah 43, but you got Job chapter 3. You got some scriptures that the Most High will let you know that the elect He's gonna preserve, right? But they make evil good and make good, you know, uh, they make good evil and make evil good, right? They switching it all around. So now nobody's gonna really understand what sin is. Now, in this society, everybody goes off of their opinion. God hasn't helped us in so damn long. And it's a chapter I was just reading in Second Chronicles. Um, let me see if I can find it. 'Cause this is one example. Um, it's an example I've got. from the book I was just reading. Um, what did the Lord say? What was it? Mm, I forgot what it was going. I kind of remember it off of my dome, but basically what happened was, I think it was Issa. Issa was um, actually it's right here. The prophet Hananiah, right? What did he tell him? I'll start at verse 7. I'm gonna read it in NLT though, because I just wanted to smack where it's supposed to smack. So this is Second Chronicles, the 16th chapter, verse 7, I believe. It says, should I start up a little more? No, verse 7. It says, at that time, Hananiah, the seer, the prophet, came to King Issa and told him, because you have put your trust in the king of Aram instead of in Yahweh your power, you missed your chance to destroy the army of the king of Aram. Don't you remember what happened to the Ethiopian and Libyans in their vast army with all of their chariots and charioteers? At that time, you relied on Yahweh, and He handed them over to you. The eyes of Yahweh search the whole earth in order to strengthen those whose heart are fully committed to Him. What a fool you have been! From now on, you will be at war, right? So when you don't rely on Yahweh, but you rely on men, you rely on this world, you rely on pleasure, just like it's saying in Second Timothy, the third chapter, we are lovers of pleasure than lovers of the Most High, right? What did he do to this man? Right? He had him at war. But if we not listen to the Lord, this is why we go through hell. And you go through hell and don't even know you're getting chastised, right? Because the Lord loveth the ones that he chastised. But if you don't know you're getting chastised, you're just really catching hell, right? And there's a blindfold over you, just like Elisha's servant, right? And I just want to go to a precept on the side, right? Um, I want to keep that right there. I'm gonna go to Second Chronicles, the 18th chapter, verse 12 to 17, and I'm gonna read this in the KJV, right? So this is what it reads. It says, "And the messenger that went to call Micaiah spake to him, saying, Behold, the word of the prophets declare good to the king. With one assent. Let thy word therefore, I pray thee, be like one of theirs, and speak thou good. Right? So this servant is telling him, man, yo, these other 400 prophets, if you read the chapters, 400 prophets, they spoke the same thing. So you should go up there too. And I want you to know the men of the Lord is not here to speak the same thing as TD the snake, take Dick Jake, right? Or like Creflo Dollar or Geno Jennings and the apostles and the elders is not like one of these other congregations, man. They get deep in this thing, man. They get deep with every aspect, right? But I'm just saying the real Hebrew Israelite man, right? Especially if they teaching, we supposed to be giving out the truth, man. We are not here to please man. We are here to please the Most High and do it heartily. Colossians chapter 3, verse 23. But verse 13, it says, And Micaiah said, As Yahweh liveth, even what my power saith, that will I speak. And when he was come to the king said unto him, Micaiah, shall we go to Ramoth Gilead to battle, or shall I forbear? And he said, Go ye up and prosper, and they shall be delivered unto your hands. So we tell him, yeah, go, you're going to go up and prosper. Verse 15, let me see, was 15 a point? 13, I think, yeah, 13 is the point, right? Because The servant told him, and he said, "Nah." He said, "As Yahweh liveth, even what my power saith, that will I speak." That is the main point. Everything I'm gonna bring out, and everything, all these other videos that the men of the Lord and the apostles and the elders is teaching, we're not teaching what we want. We're teaching thus saith the Lord, man. However you take it is however you take it. But we're not trying to speak our own thing. And any man speaking his own thing, you're gonna reap what you sow, right? That's an idiot move to speak your own thing, right? It said, verse 15, it says, "And the king said to him, How many times shall I adjourn thee that thou say nothing but the truth to me in the name of Yahweh?" Right? And when we teaching this word, we got to make sure that we know that we're saying it in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Because you got to serve the Lord in spirit and in truth. The spirit is Yahweh and the truth is Yahweh Shai. So you doing this work in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Verse 16. Then he said, I did see all Israel scattered upon the mountains as sheep that have no shepherd. And Yahweh said, These have no master, let them return therefore every man to his house in peace. So he prophesied really to Ahab that if you go up, you're gonna prosper, but Israel is not gonna have no shepherd. They basically ain't gonna have no king, no master, because you're gonna be dead. So he prophesied the truth. But it didn't come to pass until later on when you see in verse 34 that King Ahab died, man. When you prophesy, you're prophesying the future. A seer is a visionary of the future. And that's why we should be thankful that men are not like freaking people, oh, touch the ball, pay me $200 and I'll tell you the future. Nah, we go prophetic, man. And we use the most high words to give you the prophetic message of what's going to happen in the future. This confusion as place is going to be destroyed, man. Right? Let me just read 17 so we can continue. It says, And the king of Israel said to Jehoshaphat, Did I not tell thee that he would not prophesy good unto me, but evil? And look, people think the Most High is just some goody two shoe. No, the Most High don't work that way. We prophesy the good and the bad of Yahweh Shem Yahushai because he's great and terrible. This is First Samuel chapter 2, verse 6. It says, Yahweh killeth and maketh alive, he bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. Yahweh maketh poor and maketh rich, he bringeth low and lifteth up. He raiseth up the poor out of the dust, and he lifteth up the beggar from the dunghill, to set him among princes, and to make them inherit the throne of glory. For the pillar of the earth are Yahweh's, and he hath set the world upon it. Right? Everything is in the hand of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So we can't just only teach good without the bad, and we can't teach the bad without the good. The Lord is great and terrible. Any nigga that think you serving a good God, go make you a damn peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go sit out in the damn cold. Cause you sound like a dumb ass idiot. The Lord is great and terrible in all that he do, right? But let's continue on because when we go into when we go into Babylon, the place called Babylon the Great, but really the confusion of the great. You have to understand that they allow a lot of confusion. And with this video, I think they're only just dealing with the 123 Sesame Street, right? But that's not the only confusion we have in this place, right? You have belief, right? You have, of course, what they talking about gender. The Lord only made man and female, right? We have the confusion on what is your purpose. A lot of us think our purpose is to be a celebrity, to be on TV, to be the best artist in the world. No, our purpose was to serve Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And this is confusion. That's why I want to leave it on the screen, but this is a place called confusion. This is why they try to cover up their tracks. But let's just bring a few things in, a few things out, and we'll just close. But Lord willing, I can do a Lammy to this, later on, right? Because I don't want this video to be too long. But let's just reveal a few things, and let's turn it into prophecies, right? This is Luke, the 21st chapter, which was a prophecy, and it came to pass later on after Yahweh Shai died during the time of Titus and Vespasian, Titus' father. But in the end, all the whole point for the Most High to do this It's not that of the anger of the Romans. It was really the anger of the Lord. This was judgment of the Lord. This is vengeance of the Lord. Just off of the verse that I just said, if we rely on everything else in this world, we don't rely on the Lord, everything that his works that he has put, the things that he told us to do, and we rely on our own feelings, what we want to do with the world and with society, the Lord is going to judge us, man. We reap what we sow. And the destruction of the temple was a judgment. And the same thing that's gonna happen here, the Lord is gonna destroy Jake, your fun. Your fun is fucking over, man. And the 2/3 are gonna die, man. Right? But let's just read this. This is Luke, the 21st chapter, verse 20 to 24. Please pay close attention. I'm gonna start at 19 though. It says, in your patience possess ye your souls, and when ye shall see Jerusalem come to pass with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. Then let them which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out, and let not them that are in the countries enter thereinto. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days, for there shall be great distress in the land, wrath upon this people, which is this is going into 70 AD, right? The destruction of Jerusalem, right? This is like you gotta put it in your mind, like our place, our home, getting destroyed. Yahushua, this is in red letters. He's prophesying this, man, to us. We don't, and if the spirit not in you, you don't even understand this. And Daniel prophesied this, man. And look, the Babylon tore down. They tore down the first temple, right? Then uh go look at what the Greeks did, right? The Greeks the what they defiled the temple, right? And the Maccabees had to recapture it, recleanse it, right? Rededicate the temple. And then look what Rome did. They destroyed it, man. That's why some things in the law we can't do. But you, Nicholas, on the other side, you not even teaching the whole Bible, but want to argue about the law, man, right? Y'all don't even know who Yahushua really is, man, what his purpose was, man. This is why we need the men of the Lord, right? We should just be listening to the teachers. Put your hand over your mouth because you don't know nothing, right? A lot of people don't think that this is the land of confusion. And if you is saying that this is the land of confusion, you should be teaching against it, crying out loud, like Jonah, man. We're gonna read the last verse. It says, verse 24, it says, they shall fall by the edge of the sword and shall be laid away captive into all nations, four corners of the earth. Then when you read Babylon and Timbuktu, 1 million Jews, 1 million Israelites flee from Roman persecution. When you read in Revelation, the 12th chapter, the earth swallowed them. Really, the African mountains, fields, the places, it swallowed them. And we blended in with the people, right? You can go read it. You don't got to take my word for it. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles. And in this time, this was the Romans, right? And until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, right? In those Gentiles, right? Gentiles go into nations, but these Gentiles were Romans. These were Edomites, right? And I can just show, if y'all want, through books, is in, I don't know if y'all believe in, I know a lot of people don't believe in, digging in and reading. Shoot, I ain't even believe in reading, to be honest, man. I want to get straight to the point. We talking about Rome, right? So let's get where it shows Rome. All right, Edomite. Here we go, right here. The yellow, right? It says the Romans. Read right here. I'm gonna just show you where I'm reading from. It says the Romans came from Esau, who is Edom. Italian is Idumean, which is would mean basically going to waste it away. Rome, the Basra. So Rome became the capital. Basra is really like on the outskirts of Israel. But Rome, the Basra, right? And Basra really is like capital. So Rome became the capital of Edom, of the Hebrew prophets, the descendants of Esau, right? But in today modern time, because when you read Babylon and Timbuktu, when the Ethiopians got in power, they changed a lot of things. So you won't see in history when the Europeans whites call them by their original name, which really would be Edomites, Idumeans, right? And that was the biggest confusion because they had to take crafty counsel, right? And when you look at Maccabees, First Maccabees chapter 3, verse 48, they started to look in our books, look in our scrolls, and they understood the images of, our apostles and our prophets. Yes, we had ancient images of them, looking color, having different shades, because brothers was different shades, and we had colors, and they, took those, right? And that's all the Lord. Yeah, they did it, but the Lord put that spirit on them, man, because of the the Lord want this ministry to be a mystery, right? And if it was all just out, then two-thirds, one-third will all get it. This has to be a mystery. You have to desire to want it, right? Because it said at the end, until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And really, if we was to go into history, and soon as Esau came back into power after the Arabs or the Mali Empire, Mansa Musa, right before, man, he was wealthy as heck. But when the Europeans came and got us, Esau was really in caves. They were really in a hole, right? And the Lord put that spirit back on them, and they rose back into power. And we kept our history. We keep rising and we keep falling. And when we rise, is us coming back to the Lord, but we keep falling. And the whole point of us now is to reveal this, to come back to the Lord, like Baruch 2:30 says, in the land of our captivity, we shall remember who we are. And you're going to remember the bad and the good, right? But let's continue to get on to, the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. When is their time going to be fulfilled? When their kingdom, their wickedness is being revealed, and them as a nation is being revealed, right? Second Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3 and 4. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, which is Esau, the nation of Idumean, right? The son of perdition, right? The son of condemnation, right? The son of destruction, right? Who possesseth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is God, right? Even the Pope, he quotes certain things and he says certain things to put himself that he is God. Revelations 13 and 7. You got First Maccabees chapter 3 and 48. You got Job 9 and 24. You got Wisdom of Solomon, the 14th chapter, verse 15 to 16, and Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15, I believe, 3 and 4. It's many other, but we can go into history too, right? Um, but back to revealing this place, you know, Esau wants to sit, let alone where is he? He got a space station. He got this internet where he can see everybody. Now he's about to usher in the Charagma, the MOTB, and that's going to be total control. And if y'all watch the video I put on, I think 716 in my actual YouTube page at Dark About 144, they're promoting the Charagma, which is Smart Mark on kids cartoon shows. They got The Simpsons, and I think it was the Batman or the Justice League. Esau, anytime before he do anything, he promotes who he is. Look at sports. He been promoting who he was since the Greeks, since now. Just look at sports, right? The Greeks and the Rome, just Esau in general, they love entertainment. And just look at America. It's filled with entertainment. Filled with entertainment. Just really just sit there and think, right? Because the Lord even said that we're going to serve our enemies in hunger and thirst and in nakedness. We were going to be astonishment. How can we be astonishment without sports, without fashion, without music? Right? These are so many things to distract you. And Esau wants you to be distracted because back then, all nations knew who we was. We were always speaking of the Lord. Even if you was a two-third nigga, you had, even when you was moving like Greeks, you were using Zeus, Hades. The Most High was spoken of more. I mean, not the Zeus part, but Israelites was, even if it was a few of us, we were speaking more of the Lord, but you got more Israelites speaking of fashion, big booties. I mean, us men, we love women, but we talk about that. We ain't saying, man, how the daughter of Zion, women need to do better. Yes, them women look good, but after they look good and we do what we do, is that woman gonna come in this thing, right? We ain't talking about the problem in our society, how Israelite women in the past was never jealous of each other. But as soon as we start cleaving to other nations, as soon as the man stopped dwelling with his wife according to knowledge, it started bringing in jealousy, and that took away from the character of a man, and it took away from the character of a woman. Women love being a mother. Women didn't love going outside. That's this Esau where they want you to embrace this world, embrace freedom. You're not enslaved no more, but when you're taxed, you are a slave, regardless if they got little small hats that's slaves too, right? Because all nations were under a emperor or ruler, right? But this is Malachi chapter 1, verse 1 to 4. And this is verse 4 is very important when it comes to history. It says the burden of the word of Yahweh to Israel by Malachi. I I have loved you, saith Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother? Saith Yahweh. Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Right? And the dragons, if we go to Revelations, are Edomites, right? So what, the Edomites of the wilderness, right? But the Lord destroyed their foundation. If you know in history the things that they had, and we gotta sometimes prophecies can be one-fold, a twofold, a threefold, and sometimes these things can lay in this moment, in that moment, right? Shoot, Esau was a servant under Israel, then they revolted and they try to make their own foundation. Esau always been messing with the 12 tribes all through history. Then when they actually get into power, when they become, when they take over the land in Greece, right? They become cruel people. They were vicious, right? But Esau went to and fro, just like when we see in Job, some things in the spirit we would see how the devil work, but Esau, he's the physical man of him, and he does the same thing. He goes to and fro. And look in history, the so-called white men and women went to and fro, you know, trying to act like pilgrims, try to act like they were all nice, but in their heart they was thinking of war, right? This is all in their history. All they do is go to and fro. Look at Israel. Most of the time we stay where we at, even if we get scattered the four corners of the earth. Go get a whole bunch of 20 Jamaicans. Most of them brothers ain't gonna want to come to America. They got real bananas, mangoes. They love the wilderness. Anybody that's watching America ain't gonna want to come here. Jacob's gonna want to stay where they at, you know, and Esau got us in that mindset, in that mindset to be comfortable where we at, or people are going to be uncomfortable where they at, and they gonna look at America, ooh, land of the free, we can make money and do this. That's why a lot of people come to America because they think of wealth, they think of money, they think you can have it your way. You got some men and some women that's probably some Fruit Loops in another country, and they just don't allow it, and they come to America and they can be whatever they want. This place has to be destroyed, right? So the Lord destroyed his places in past tense and made them waste. We can go look at old Mount Seir, all those places where he was at got destroyed. And what he do? The next verse. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith Yahweh of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down. They shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh have indignation forever. Right? And I'm gonna just go to this video that I have in my arsenal, right, in my playlist. And anybody that probably watched videos, I played this video before, right?
But as many are finding out, Edomites, the descendants of Esau, actually made up the Roman Empire. As a matter of fact, the Jewish Encyclopedia also states that the name Edom is used by the Talmudists for the Roman Empire, and they applied to Rome every passage of the Bible referring to Edom or to Esau. Where is Edom today? Esau's land was
See? And I'm just doing this to show you that, the son of perdition is getting revealed, even if it's if we're talking about his past, his present, or his future, right? And the Lord require us to do these things, just like I had showed you. If you was paying attention to the precepts before, like Micaiah, we have to speak thus saith the Lord, man. And it's not about making anybody feel good. We're not um respect of persons, right? We come out here to give out the raw and uncut version of the truth, right? Because our brothers and sisters is fed lies. So you gotta really be devoted to learning, right? And that's what it is. To hide something, you got to be crafty as hell, and to rebuild or to re-find out, you got to really be devoted. Because yes, I can understand us being humans and us having entertainment. Yes, we get bored, and our attention span is so short. But to change history and change all of this, it starts by us making action and being willing to listen. So I just had to say that, Lord willing, it clicks.
called Edom. Edom is the country of Jordan and the place of Petra, the city in the mountain. Look at the architecture of the photo at Petra, which is Edom. Notice how it resembles Rome along with many of the structures all over the world.
And I'm and this is why, let me just say, Romans 15:4. You see how he's comparing old and new? He's showing old images of Edom where they dwelled and where they made something, and he's trying to show you presidents or up to date images, right? Romans chapter 15, verse 4, it says, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning, that we through patience and comfort of scriptures might have hope. Now, in these scriptures, I might not have a picture of it, but understand Esau built a kingdom, he established a kingdom. So if you hear that, you can go and do a research, Wikipedia. Of course, use the Google engine, use as much engines as you can. Go to Amazon, go buy books, or download the app, the Kindle, and you could download Bible maps and charts, right? Just like how I got, and they'll show you different places in history where Israelites was at, where they were captive, or where these nations was at. So it's always good, especially when you're dealing with the Bible, Biblios, which is biblical, right? Historical, right? You want to align history with it because that just backs it up and it enlightens you and be like, wow, this is true, right? And the Lord is simple to the righteous, but for the wicked, a lot of this is complicated, right? So, Lord willing, you can see this plain.
Our sports stadium.
And I know how a lot of people like, wait, come on, bro, those are just buildings. Now with the same thing with things being spiritual, the Most High will have these nations make themselves look doodle because it's the same with the scriptures. If they are not the people, right? Or say if the Bible was destroyed and messed up. If I was the people to confuse people, I'm gonna just say like to be like Pinky in the Brain, I would take out something that I know somebody would re-question. Why would the Lord say he hate Esau? And when we look at now, ain't nobody calling themselves Esau, so I would have to search that. But if that is a person, I would try to remove that. He hate Esau. Esau can go into slavery. I will remove all nations, all these other nations that put Israel into slavery. I will put I would remove that too. But what they do in craftiness is because the names are changed and you can't pinpoint the names of now to back then. But that's why you gotta be moving in the spirit and in truth. And the Lord will reveal it. And how does he reveal it? Through the attribute. Esau in history, he goes to and fro. So through this, we get to see in different countries, in different areas, he touched that place and he left something, a monument. Right now, we see in the screen the ancient Rome Colosseum. Probably said it wrong, but then you could look at San Diego baseball stadium. It's just symbolic to the same thing that we did in Rome, sports. And what did they call it in Greek and Rome? Sports, entertainment, right? And it's just Esau bringing this is Rome 2.0. They just bringing their old traditions to this place, and only the men of the Lord that are the elect, Romans 11:7, are going to see. The rest were blinded, right? Let me get that too. My brother Sam's favorite verse, right? Romans 11:7. It says, "What then Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it. The rest were blinded." Right? The rest were blinded, right? The rest were blinded to understand this mystery, right? Only the elect is going to get it. And that's why the men are going to break down the scriptures on a deeper way. And when they break it down deep and you just listening through, it's going to seem easy if you get it. If you don't get it, hey, the Lord might not be dealing with you at that moment. You could probably retry again and retry again. If you ain't getting it and a month's past week, then I don't know what to tell you, right? You got to go pray and tell the Lord to reveal it, you know?
Stadiums resemble the Colosseum. Even modern-day sports are in fact derived from Rome. European systems of government are set up like the early Roman Empire, having both the Senate and the Republic, local government, and other things as well. Esau's descendants are called Edomites. Later, they're called Idumeans. Idumea or Edom in Hebrew was the region south of Judea, originally inhabited by the reputed descendants of Jacob's brother Esau. Edom was periodically subjected to Judea under David and Solomon the Maccabees, homeland of the house of Herod. There were no natural boundaries between Idumea and Judea, so the borders were always in flux. According to the Jewish Encyclopedia, 1925 edition, in 163 BC, Judas Maccabeus conquered the Edomite.
And this man going into history. Now, for any Black, Latino, and natives that you say you read the KJV, make sure you be honest and say you didn't. Because if you did not read the Apocrypha or get into the Apocrypha, you did not read the whole Bible. You know, you want to tap in. The Maccabees first and second is a very huge part of history, and it will help you understand about being Hellenized or Hellenization, because that's where it really starts. But I'll continue.
Territory for a time. They, the Edomites, were again subdued by John Hyrcanus about 125 BC, by whom they were forced to observe Israelite rites and laws of the Torah. They were then incorporated with the tribe of Judah, and their country was called by the Greeks and Romans Idumea. With Antipater the Idumean began the Idumean dynasty that ruled over Judea till its conquest by the Romans. From this time, the Idumeans ceased to be a separate people. Therefore, Edom later became known as the Roman Empire. With the sacking of Rome by the barbarians came the mingling or spoiling of Esau's seed. Thus,
So now you see how things is changing. Now they're still Edomites, because when you go to Babylon and Timbuktu, the ancient nations still called people by their national and tribal names, right? Whoever they were. But as soon as the Europeans come into play, they start calling them by a color, right? But Edomites, just was only, hey, I'm a Roman, I'm a Roman. But of course, they knew they descend from Edomites. But that's how you could see it started to grow and change. You know, I'm a Greek, or I'm a Rome, I'm a Rome. But they won't say, hey, I'm a Edomite, because we all said like if you say like Paul, I am an Israelite, but I was born in Rome or Tarshish, right? Eventually in history time, people stop quoting their ancient roots, right?
fulfilling the prophecy of Jeremiah 49:10.
But I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren and his neighbors, and he is not.
The Goths were Ukraine, Romania, Moldova, Belarus, Poland, and Scandinavia. The Saxons were Germany, the Dutch, the English, northern Albania, Great Britain, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales. The Franks were France. The Lombards were Italy. The Vandals were East Germany, which were known for their senseless destruction, which is where we get the term vandalism. Vandalism is the behavior attributed originally to the Vandals by the Romans in respect of culture, ruthless destruction or spoiling of anything beautiful or venerable. These kingdoms all branched off into other kingdoms such as Canada, America, Caucasus, Siberia, Central Asia, Sweden, Finland, Norway, Ireland, and maybe others. Note, together these kingdoms all make up the rule of the entire world. Esau and his kingdoms, Edom, will be ruling at the end of the world, and Jacob will rule afterward in the millennium under the Messiah, Yeshua.
Now, under the millennium thing, Israel gonna rule forever after Esau's kingdom is over. Second Ezra 6 and 9. You know, people like to bring out the millennium like after that thousand, just like IUIC or Barney Crew say that after 1,000 years, then what the Greeks, I mean not the Greeks, the Russians or Edomites will come against the Israelite men in the kingdom. However the heck they say it. But let's just stay on the video. Just want you to know after this is done, we're gonna rule forever and ever and ever and ever and ever and ever. Lord willing, we are of that number.
Many Bible scholars teach that the Edomites no longer exist, but Scripture clearly shows them in the last days.
Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord? Yet I loved Jacob, and hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Whereas Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return, and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, They shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
Many people use this scripture to claim that Edom was exterminated, but this is not what the passage implies. It states very clearly that the Most High hated Esau and laid his mountains and heritage to waste. But in the next verse, it states, Edom saith, We are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. At the time of Malachi's prophecy, Edom was a wasteland.
You see that? 14. And I'm just trying to show you as an example. What you do is you just stop the video, and for anybody that might not think they have this information, you hurry up and you write what's on the screen. City of Petra. And we already seen it on the map when he showed where Esau lived. And you're gonna just write 445 through 432 BC. And I only just start because this is how you know when you go into these scriptures, it's like it's bringing you back to school. And that's how the Lord want us to search his scripts. You just don't hop just the one. You gotta search in these scripts.
Between 445 and 432 BC. How do we know this? The Most High said, I laid, past tense, his mountains and his heritage to waste. Edom's response was, We will return and build the desolate places. So if Edom was completely destroyed, how could they say that they'd return? And why would Scripture give reference to Edom still being around in the last days? The Most High's response was, They shall build, but I will throw down.
And I brought this out already earlier. And now you get to see it you get to see it in imagery. And then just think about it. He already showed you all the places that Esau rebuilt that he built the desolate places. America, what it was a grass, it was a forest, rainforest. And he builded it with cities and buildings, just like Nimrod, trying to build them shits high as hell, like he could be in the sky like a god or something, right? And some of these buildings is just like how they had them in Rome or in Greek, and how they had them in Greece, in the Greek captivity. London, Paris, all these places. Go look at some of their museums, because a lot of the elites, of course, they be in Paris and London. Go look at some of their buildings. They're all Esau is so symbolic to so many things in the past, just to show you that they are the people, right? And right here in the picture, the Lord specifically said that they shall build, but I would throw down. If the Lord come back and Esau didn't build, what the hell he gonna throw down? That is not gonna make sense. Go outside, go to the city, go to New York. New York is the Queen City. I mean, really, Buffalo is. All their places have buildings. Go look at the Washington. Oh, why do they got their buildings looking like this? You know, it's just like a dog when he pee on a tree, right? He pee on that tree to let you know I was here. How do Esau put his presence in places? By the buildings or him flaunting you with paganism, right?
This is a future prophecy that Edom will return and rebuild, but the Most High will destroy his kingdom in his final judgment against Edom in the last days.
Right? And that's that World War III that brothers be hoping for, right? Right before, which brothers is saying, 2024, Lord willing, is the hopeful year of Jacob's trouble, man.
For Esau, Edom is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that follow it.
And whoever this is, it could be a Jake, or if it is the Edomite, this man know, man, you gotta read the Apocrypha. Apocrypha means hidden books, right? Hidden scrolls. You should be getting into the history, right? The Bible is based on nations, and it's important that you know that the whole scriptures is really based on one nation ruling the whole earth under the power, the supervision, and leadership of Yahweh Shem Yahushua.
2nd Esdras chapter 6 verse 9, the Apocrypha. The prophecy in Isaiah chapter 63 verses 1 through 6 confirms that this is indeed what will happen.
Who is this that cometh from Edom, with dyed garments from Bozrah? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people was none with me. For I will tread them in my anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. And I looked, and there was none to help, and I wondered that there was none to uphold. Therefore mine own arm brought salvation unto me, and my fury it upheld me. And I will tread down the people in mine anger, and make them drunk in my fury, and I will bring down their strength to the earth.
Happen. When the Messiah returns, where does he go, and what does he do? He goes to every place where the descendants of Esau, the Edomites, have set up their kingdoms, and slaughters them for their perpetual violence against Jacob. He treads the winepress, and his wrath is accomplished. Further proof is in the book of Daniel, which states that in the future,
and the question is, who are God's chosen
That's
people?
amazing
The first thing I want to talk about.
how white people basically confess and say the 12 tribes of Israel is the so-called Black Latinos and natives. They say it out their own mouths, but you know, you just want to understate and to the point of the confusion of the great. You know, the biggest one is who is the ruler, who is the adversary of the Lord. And if all the world knew who Esau was, then they would understand that this Bible, that the men of the law was always telling the truth. But the son of perdition being hidden, from people that's not in the spirit, not realizing who he is. That's the reason why this kingdom is going to continue to keep going. until the Lord let the sin of perdition be revealed, right? And of course, until the prophecies come to pass. And literally, the son of perdition is a prophecy to come to pass when the whole world will know who he is. You know, it's not going to only be the elect. Eventually, your mother and father is going to finally know that you've been telling the truth this whole time, but it's going to be late for them because the 2/3 is going to have to fill their slot, and the elect 1/3, or really the 144,000, and the 1/3, they're going to have to fulfill their slot, right? And that's why if you say you believe in Yahweh Hashem Al Shai, stop showing more that you playing around about this thing and be more serious. I know even myself, sometimes I might get distracted too. Like Jeremiah said, just doing a video don't mean that you gonna get that kingdom and it's the end all be all. Before you do a video, make sure you believe it. After the video, make sure you believe it, right? And then even after that is what you do day to day. Make sure you when you praying, you mean it, right? And always work on your faith. Work on believing and trusting in the Lord with all your heart. And I know that we in this flesh, so always fight that battle of, trying to be in the spirit. And sometimes you could be in the spirit just by watching videos. You can be in the spirit by if you have social media and you're sharing brothers' videos, or you screen record a good part that a brother have in a video and you make your own YouTube, just like I see other brothers doing. They not even teaching out, but what they do, they screen record brothers and they put it on their YouTube. That's part of the work just to get the word out. Just that 1 minute video is going to probably get the elect, get their engine rolling, or somebody that can be depressed in this truth. They can watch that 1 minute video clip and they can motivate them. The way we going to escape, Second Ezra chapter 9, verse 7, is if, the work, the faith, and believe. So Lord willing, to all my brothers and sisters that y'all can do the work and y'all can believe. But with that, I'm gonna say Kwame Yasharella is your brother, Dark Abar, and I'm gonna say Shalom.